where Washington comes to talk.
105.9
And AM 630.
WMAL. I'm a patriot.
It's people that make the difference.
We invade a country with oil, but gas costs more? That don't make no sense.
A political movement.
We have done things that some folks don't even know about.
Who's to blame for sky-high gas prices?
Our gas prices are going to go up.
Right now, the president could sign an order to build that pipeline.
There's no silver bullet. It's really about making money.
This debate over budgets is about more than just numbers on a page. It's about the kind of future that we want.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
And when your government gives you lemons, you make Patriot Lemonade. I'm Tara McNamara.
And I'm Kevin Dalton.
And you are the American public are going to do what our elected officials can't, which is solve the problems of the nation. And one of the most in-your-face problems right now that everyone is facing is astronomically high gas prices. This is one thing. Opposition to high gas prices is something that Republicans and Democrats can agree on, I would think. We all hate it. It's all siphoning money out of our bank accounts. So why can't we just work together to get the prices down?
Agreed, 100%. And that's what we've done here at Patriot Lemonade. It's a place where everyone can come together with their solutions. Everyone right now feels like they don't have a voice. They can go talk to each other on the street, but that doesn't go anywhere. Right now, we want to get everyone together, so call 888-630-9625 and give us your simple solutions to gas prices. And be heard. That's the more important part.
The thing about gas prices that just feels really unjust is that most of America, a lot of America lives paycheck to paycheck, right? They have very little cushion. So when you're kind of thinking, let's say that you've done the work and you live off of a budget, so you're like, okay, this is how much money I have for this, and this is how much money I have for housing and food, and you already sort of allotted how much for gas. So something like this, when filling up your tank costs an extra $100 a week, that's literally taking the food out of the mouths of some families. Not to mention, so I've heard that there's a lot of people are facing unemployment. They'll find jobs, but they can't find jobs in their area. So they have to commute, and sometimes they have to commute to a nearby town or city. And, so sometimes they're either making a killer commute already, or they only come home on the weekends. So high gas prices really affect something. That means maybe they can't come home for the weekends, which means, then mom and dad are lonely in their separate cities, right? And then what happens? Someone has an affair. Now they're getting a divorce. And so gas prices are breaking up families. ExxonMobil is a home wrecker.
I cannot believe what's going on here.
So, why isn't anyone doing something about it? Can we do something about it? Do we all have to go, yay, freedom to the Middle East, right? We're happy about that, but we're hearing all of these reasons why we have high gas prices. Is it the Arab Spring? Is it that China and India are sucking all our gas? Is it that we don't have the Keystone Pipeline? There's just a lot of reasons. And meanwhile, you hear also the president and Congress saying, well, we don't really. Some people are saying we don't have anything to do with gas prices. It's a global private industry issue. It's an OPEC issue. But I think that's lazy thinking. If we've learned nothing from Moneyball, please, it's that there's always a solution.
Yeah, we can get some runs. We can squeeze some more runs out of this baby.
So I don't buy it. I don't believe there's nothing we can do. I think you have answers. I think while you're at the pump, that you're thinking of answers, you're thinking of solutions on how we can lower gas prices. I do buy that there's nothing Congress is going to do, because they've done a lot of nothing except for things like cut funding to poetry festivals and blame other people for why they haven't done anything.
No, look what they did for the budget.
But yeah,
contraception is going so well. Okay, you're right.
All right, so forget Congress, forget the president. Clearly, they have zero implementable ideas. But I bet you do, all right? So call us with your solutions. Call us here, 888-630-9625. All right, so before we tackle the gas price situation, we do have to determine why we are paying $4 to $5 and more a gallon. The economic reason we're taught supply and demand, right, applies to some degree. We're told China and India need more oil every year as the country's population continues to significantly increase each year. I just saw on Fox News yesterday the sanctions on Iran mean countries are buying their oil elsewhere, and Iran is reducing its output, and that's increased the price per barrel to 2008 prices. We're also told, like Arab Spring affects oil production, theoretically reducing supply. I guess because no one's working there to, it's like it's less that the amount is going down and more of this financial speculation.
Yes.
I am the last person who should be explaining the stock market and speculation to anyone, honestly.
You're doing a great job.
But so Forbes.com kind of explained it like this. They said that the pain at the pump is actually causing from the people who create your investment portfolios and retirement funds, that they are paid by us to search for higher returns. And so what they've done is they've ventured out of stocks and real estate and started buying oil futures. And the increase in demand causes the futures prices to rise. And as the futures prices rise, those pumping oil out of the ground today decide, well, they'll save it for tomorrow because the market says the price will be higher tomorrow. And then this has the effect of lowering today's supply and raising today's price. And then speculators look at that and go, hooray, we were right, let's buy some more in the future. And so the cycle continues, and it drives up oil prices and causes gas to, for no logical reason, jump from, $1.81 in February 2009 to, where we are right now.
So we're just creating a bubble like we've done with the housing market and the .com industry and everything else, which worked out well.
Yeah. So those are some...
Wait, no, it didn't. Come on!
Well, prices are cheap now for houses. So we have an expert today who's going to listen to your solutions and tell us if they will or won't work. Okay, so call us right now with your solutions, 888-630-9625. It's the assistant professor at USC's Marshall School of Business, Ira Kalb, who wrote a revealing article for BusinessInsider.com saying there's another reason why gas is so darn expensive. Hi, Ira. Welcome to Patriot Lemonade.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so you tell us, why are gas prices so expensive?
Well, you want the simple reason or the complicated reason?
Oh, geez, please, the simple. That's all our brains can deal with today.
The simple reason is we have to use the product, and they can charge what they want. And so therefore they're charging what the market will bear prices. And there are elements of the oil business that is supply and demand, but a lot of elements that aren't. So there's a lot of manipulation and control, and they're trying to convince us through media and other methods that it's out of their control.
Okay.
Now, that's the simple reason. There are complicating factors. There is speculation. There are lots of components that are involved in the pricing. They have things such as rack prices and dealer tank wagon prices, and you can get into all those details. But what I talked about in my article is their profits keep going up and up.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And because of that, at a time when, after the financial meltdown, a lot of us are hurting, we're saying, well, gee, everyone's kind of taking a hit, but your profits keep going up and up. So if these are out of your control, we don't really quite believe that as a complete story.
Mm-hmm. So we hear, well, there's nothing the president can really do about the gas prices. Do you think that's true, or?
When you're saying there's nothing the president can do? Mm-hmm. Or there's nothing the government can do?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that's out there, right? Like, we have people like the presidential candidates who say, oh, yes, the president needs to bring prices down. In fact, I think Obama said that about Bush.
There's tons of things that the president or the government can do. I'm not necessarily saying the government can do it. I'm one of these people that doesn't believe the government should intervene unless it really has to. But
you don't think $5.40 is a point where the government intervenes?
Yeah. Anyway, there was a guy named Joseph Lazaro who wrote a piece for the dailyfinance.com, and would you like to hear his reasons what the government could do?
All right, let's hear the 30-second version.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to do it quickly. He suggested that they do random releases from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and he said that would save about 37.5 cents per gallon. Wow. And the reason is that way the speculators couldn't speculate the way they do, because they'd be afraid that when there are these releases in supply that the price would go down, and they would really get burned.
Okay, so what you're talking about, the Petroleum Reserve, is that's the one that President Obama has control over, that he has opened up not too long ago?
Right, the government has control of that, and it's supposed to be used for emergencies, and it's questionable as to whether we would consider this an emergency or not.
Okay. All right. Well, I think there are solutions out there. I think the people who have them are the people. So we want to hear your solutions. Call us right now at 888-630-9625 with your 17-second solution. And I did say 17-second solutions. Yes, I did.
And what could you do in 17 seconds? Well, you know a guy named Jason Russell? Well, you didn't 2 weeks ago. He was the guy who let out the Kony 2012 video, which amassed 85 million hits overnight. I mean, just became a sensation. On top of the world, doing great things for his project, and then he ended up running down the streets of San Diego naked.
Yeah, touching himself.
It didn't take much time. And boy, those TMZ cameras are everywhere.
They are everywhere. How are they in San Diego knowing he was about to run out of his house naked?
So just a little clip really just derailed this whole entire plan he'd set forth.
Yeah, pretty bad. But the good news is in 17 seconds, you can do something good. You can give a solution to stop the skyrocketing gas prices and maybe even have a way to bring it down. So call us at 888-630-9625. If you aren't able to call, then tweet us your 140-character solution, adding hashtag #PatriotLemonade. The price of gas is starting to stink like the passing of gas, and Congress hasn't even started to think about taking action. We're going to fix it. Your solution's next. Stay with us on Patriot Lemonade on 105.9 FM WMAL.
Someone just ran out of gas on Highway 41. Did you hear it?
You mean we're out of gas?
Why is it going up so fast? Holy smokes.
Tara McNamara and Kevin Dalton back with you on Patriot Lemonade. So what did you pay at the pump most recently? We got a tweet of somebody who spent $60 filling up a Mini Cooper.
What?
Unacceptable.
Wow.
As you well know, D.C. is one of the most expensive places in the country to fill up. So D.C., no one's more vested in coming up with a solution for high gas prices than you. And no one in Congress appears to really be doing anything about it. So, yeah, I'm concerned.
Well, and right now we have all their ears. We're right in the middle of D.C. The people, the policymakers who can do something are listening. You have a voice right now. If you have a solution, something that can bring these prices down, call us right now. We want to hear it. We want to get it in the hands of somebody who can do something.
888-630-9625, and it is time to fix it.
People can't afford to buy gas. Why? Because gas prices.
Fix it.
They're too damn high.
Fix it.
The U.S. is exporting record amounts of oil.
Fix it.
Listen, if you can block the Keystone Pipeline, next on target would be fracking.
Fix it. Fix it. Fix it.
If we don't fix this, we are going to be in trouble.
So here's how it works. You're going to call us with your solution to solving high gas prices. Our expert's going to tell you if it will or won't work. And at the end, we're going to identify the solution that is the most likely to work. And in the meantime, like we said, listen, you got the ears of the politician who are listening in their cars right now. So this is your shot to tell them your ideas. Call us at 888-630-9625. Or if you can't call, tweet us your solution by adding hashtag PatriotLemonade. Now, telling us if your solutions are feasible or not is Ira Kalb from the USC Marshall School of Business, who's made himself an expert when it comes to the oil industry. And Ira, we've got a lot of calls, so we're going to go straight to the phones. George, what is your 17-second solution?
First one, okay, check it out. First one is what won't work. What won't work is more drilling. I mean, we could drill all we want in the United States. These greedy gas companies don't do nothing but put the oil on the world market. So this stupid chant the right wing has, drill baby drill, is about as ignorant as it comes. A solution. Since oil is something we all need and it dictates just about all the prices that go on, why don't we just nationalize it? Get rid of the oil companies and control it ourselves with our government. That's one solution. Second solution. We're friends with the wrong people in the Middle East. If we stop messing with the Arabs and be, civil, maybe we wouldn't have these problems. If we stop talking about having war in the Middle East, maybe we wouldn't have these problems.
All right, that's a lot. So, Ira, what do you think about George's ideas?
Well, I don't really like the fact that the government would control the industry. I don't think that's going to work. That's going to take incentives away for them to find oil. Some people believe that that's a good idea. And some people believe because we need to use the product, it's like a utility, and utilities are regulated. I'm not so sure I like that idea. I'm more of a free market person. And the market really isn't free. There's an oil cartel, and there's a lot of kind of belief that there's a collusion in the pricing. So it's not really free. But I think if it's more free, that would be part of the solution.
Yeah, look at the number of things that the government handles well.
Exactly.
And I'm not really interested in putting more on their plate at this point, especially something that's so critical to everybody across the board like gas and oil.
All right,
exactly.
Thanks, George. Thanks, George, for your solution. 888-630-9625. Oh, boy. Now, we have someone on the line who I know feels very strongly about gas prices. It's Nick at Night's funniest mom, Vicky Barbalak. Vicky, what is your solution?
Well, I just want to say I live in a trailer. I'm an idiot, okay? I have no brain. But it just seems to me the government is just spending our money on the bailouts, and they want to go back to the moon. If we left something there, I could see that, okay? But I say you take that NASA money, okay, you give it to a scientist or somebody smart like Ira, okay? Because there's just two things we need. We need fuel that won't wreck the planet and send the money to the people that are trying to kill us. Duh, right? We need gas. I'm like, damn, who's got mad, right? And it's 2012. We need a diet pill that works, right? Okay? Right, we got drones flying around. It's ridiculous. So I say, you take the NASA money, you give it to them, and then they come up with like a pill or a gas. Like I said, somebody like Ira can figure that out. I don't know how that would work, okay? Whatever we eat, we just shoot through, come out calorie-free, okay? And that could fuel our cars.
All right. Okay, so you're saying basically the idea of
more pie, we're going all the way to Ontario. Okay.
So this is sort of a biodiesel idea. Is that
kind of a bio-donut diesel. That's exactly right.
All right, thanks, Vicky.
So instead of driving a Prius, would be driving Piuses? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. You said it, not me. You know where I'm going? It's so simple. I just don't get it.
So, Vicky, are you going to be playing the D.C. area anytime soon?
No, I'm not. I'm not, but I would like to. That's in the United States. That's where the president lives and everything. I'd love to go there. I would love to go there. I heard it's really fun. There's a lot of rich people there. So
I know you're busy, Vicky. Vicky's working with Roseanne on a project right now.
Thank you for calling. I'm glad you're talking about this issue, and I hope you guys solve it. And if not, just take my idea, because I know it would work.
All right. We'll find out if it will or not. Thanks, Vicky. So, Ira, does this donut waste, what do you call it, biosolids, would that work?
Well, that's a nice idea. I think that the idea is good, that we need to find alternative energy sources that will lower the demand for oil. And I think really that's the long-term solution.
Yeah.
But in the short run, all of our infrastructure is wired to use oil. So we need to, again, lower the demand, maybe use less fuel consumption cars, more electric vehicles, drive a little bit less, not drive SUVs that use 17% more fuel than regular cars. There's a whole bunch of things that we can do in the short run to lower the demand for gasoline.
Could you imagine with all the flack that the White House took over the cylinder scandals with that new alternative energy? Could you imagine them dumping billions of dollars into the last caller's idea? It's not going to go anywhere at all.
Well, what is a good idea is the taxpayers are subsidizing the oil industry to the tune of $4 billion a year, and I'd like to see that money going into subsidizing research into alternative energy sources. And really, the oil companies, they're the best ones to be investing in that, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, they say they are, though. A lot of times they're like, well, we're looking into that.
They say they are, but 28% of their profits went to buy back their stock, to raise the stock price, and to hire lobbyists to continue the processes that have given them this $4 billion a year subsidy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's see. We're going to take a few calls right now before we go back to you, Ira. So you're going to have to amass an answer. So let's go with Chuck. Chuck, what is your 17-second solution to lowering gas prices?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, somebody needs to look into what the cost of oil is in relationship to printing money. This present administration, they want oil prices to continue to escalate, so they can justify putting money into cylinder and outfits like that. What's different in the last 3 years than in the previous 3 years?
Okay, Chuck. Ira, we hear that a lot, that this is that Obama wants prices to be high, but I kind of believed him when he said, does that make any sense when I'm going into re-election? But what do you think, Ira?
Oh, I don't think he wants prices to be high because he's reading the polls, and when George Bush was president, when price went up to $4 a gallon, that really hurt his ratings, and Obama knows that a lot of people are blaming him for the oil prices. I really don't think he is to blame, and I think that the forces we've been talking about are, but no, he doesn't want the price to go up.
Okay, all right, thanks, Chuck. Tyler, what's your 17-second solution to lowering gas prices?
Yes, I live out in Ashburn. I'm actually a 19-year-old in college, and I'm taking a business course, and I just figured, why don't we see if we can find a negotiation where marginal cost is maybe at equal or maybe a little below marginal revenue, and not have gas companies raising prices and keep increasing their profits when we know that it's costing them just as much as the same every year. So we need to put a price ceiling on that so their marginal revenue is equal, if maybe not a little bit higher than their marginal cost, and stop increasing their marginal revenue.
Okay, thanks, Tyler. And let's also take Ed's call. Ed, what's your 17-second solution?
Well, I like Ira's idea of nationalizing it, but I realize that that'll not happen. If we could figure out some way to make more a tax on the money that the gas companies make from things done overseas and less from things which they can use our internal kind of oil.
Okay. So, Ira, what are you thinking about those two ideas, marginal cost and raising taxes on overseas?
Well, I don't believe in price ceilings. I think that tends to cause lots of other problems. For example, there was a price ceiling on apartment rents in New York, and what that just did is it caused the landlords to ask for key money, which really effectively raised the price. So when you mess around with the economics, natural economics, bad things usually happen. So I'm not in favor of that. I think that really the solution that people have is to lower the demand. We need to stop using so much unnecessary fuel, and if we use less, then the price is going to come down. I don't know if you know, but 1.9 billion gallons of fuel are wasted just sitting in traffic.
Wow.
Every year.
Well, that's a solution we can all get behind. If we solve the traffic problem, I'm going to right now. If you are in the far left lane and you're driving and no one's really in front of you, but there's a lot of people behind you, you are causing traffic.
Nice, that's good.
All right, that's my solution.
Wait, one quick one?
Yeah.
Everybody's operated a zipper before in their life. And the way it works is one from the other side, one from the other side, one from the other side, one from the other side. That's how a zipper works. That's how you merge.
Yeah, exactly.
Treat it like a zipper, people. There we go. Now we're saving billions of barrels of oil.
888-630-9625. What is your solution to lowering gas prices? John, what is your 17-second solution?
Thank you. 17 seconds is not enough, but quite honestly, Ira has such a bias against, gasoline that there's really no speaking to him. What we need to do in this country immediately is to use the natural gas that we have, take all of the heavy trucks in this country, period, and convert them to use of natural gas. Okay, that would allow a loosening up of from diesel to regular gas. Then give them a tax incentive to do so. Then convert all the trucks, of course. There would be an opening for allowing people then to use the more of that diesel for gasoline, and then possibly even cars, new production cars using natural gas. Natural gas has fallen through the floor as far as the cost, and it's also so clean. It's 90% coming out of the tailpipe, and it's maintenance-wise, it's much cleaner than fossil fuels.
Okay.
So we could do immediately. And I wish Obama would get off this kick with the algae, but we can convert trucks right now that use most of the fuel to natural gas immediately. Let's take the north route, 95 north and south to Florida, and move those gas lines to the gas stations so that we can convert all these trucks that are using up all this, including our air.
Okay, all right. I think that was over 17 seconds. So you're right. So our 17-year-old research intern, Cole, is very excited to say something to John's response. Cole?
The algae thing is actually Exxon. They've invested like $200 million into algae-based fuels.
Okay, and then let's also take Tyler's call before we go to Ira. Tyler, what's your 17-second solution?
Yeah, we need to exploit, like the last caller said, natural gas technologies. I'm an automotive technician by trade, and when I was in tech school, that's one of the things that we did. We converted a regular carbureted engine to natural gas.
Okay.
We ran it off propane, and it's, like.
Okay, so you're basically agreeing with the previous caller. And then let's go to Bill, too. Bill in Alexandria. Bill, what's your 17-second solution?
Well, the medium-term solution is like the other callers are saying. It's natural gas vehicles. There is some infrastructure in existence. You can put a kit on an existing car, so you don't have to wait for the car to life out like you would for an electric vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer-term solution would be electric vehicles supported by a new fleet of nuclear plants, which emit no carbon.
Who wants a nuclear car?
I love it. I'm fine with it.
All right, Ira, quickly, what is your response to the natural gas ideas and some of the other ideas introduced by those last bunch of callers?
Well, actually, even though Chuck kind of hurt me by saying that I'm against oil and gas companies, I'm not against anybody. I'm just here to give my view based on some data. And I agree. I think that natural gas is great. I think that both Chuck and Tyler, it's a good idea, and I think it goes along with what I said. To lower demand for gasoline, we have to use other sources, and natural gas is clean burning, and the prices have gone way down on natural gas. There are some side effects, and it's still related to a fossil fuel, but it's certainly a good short-term or intermediate-term solution. I like Bill's idea up until he got into the nuclear thing. That kind of left me cold, but what he said
that scares me.
Before that, I thought was quite good suggestions.
Okay.
I don't think I think people are moving away from nuclear after the disaster in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we have the problem, which is sky-high gas prices. We're going to lower gas prices with more of your solutions. So that means Ken, William, Doris, Ethel, and John, stay on the line. We're going to get to your solutions, as well as solutions from Twitter. Call us at 888-630-9625 or tweet us with hashtag Patriot Lemonade. That's coming up next. I'm Tara, and
I'm Kevin.
There's nothing funny about how high gas prices affect families.
The higher gasoline tax go, then maybe you might be convinced by Volt.
1,000 barrels of oil at $108 a barrel, $108,000. Simple math.
Tara McNamara and Kevin Dalton back with you on Patriot Lemonade. We're swallowing the bitter pill of sky-high gas prices, but you're sweetening the punch by coming up with real solutions that the lawmakers here in D.C. can hear and hopefully apply. We're vetting your solutions with our guest expert, Ira Kalb, from the USC Marshall School of Business and an expert in the oil industry. We have a lot of calls, so I want to get to them. Call us right now with your 17-second solution at 888-630-9625 or tweet us your solution by adding hashtag Patriot Lemonade. Kevin, so tell me a couple of of what we're getting on Twitter.
I've got Bill Baldwin, who came in and just said, ease regulations on refineries and come up with a long-range plan for domestic production.
Okay. All right.
And also, at Andy Stubbs says, gas is too damn expensive, thinking about buying a skateboard.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've actually heard people like scooters and skateboards and doing whatever they can.
I do so much more walking now, and it makes it easier that I have a grocery store right up the street from my house, but I walk there now. And, it serves a lot of purposes. I save a little gas, plus, a little bit of exercise. It's all good things.
Yeah, well, it's one idea, not when you live 30 miles from your job, then that's not really
then just go the extra mile, people. Leave earlier. It's an 8-hour walking commute. Come on.
888-630-9625. Ethel in King George, Virginia. Ethel, what is your 17-second solution? And we are timing you now.
Okay. My name is Ethel, and I believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And so that's unity.
Okay.
So I think the government, along with the business and also the private industry, the three of them could each do their own part. as far as the government is concerned, I would suggest approximately 2% less on the taxes. That would help on the gas bit. And also, as far as the private industry that have oil wells down there in Texas, I think they need to open up those wells and allow the private sector to take advantage of it, as well as our government reserve, because the reserve government funds wells are there for emergencies, and I think this is a time of emergency.
Okay. I let you go on more than 17 seconds because you waited a really long time to say that, Ethel. I appreciate it. If we can put Ethel on hold, because I want her to be able to hear Ira's response, but we're going to go first to Daniel in Niagara, Wisconsin. Hey, Daniel, what's your 17-second solution?
Just fine. Listen, they're upset. They love keeping us under their thumb. You know what I mean? They have no competition. If we had a president that says, look, we're drilling on federal land, we're tired of this stuff, you want competition, you're going to get it, because we're opening it up all over the place, and you watch the oil prices come down because they don't want competition, and they'll become more reasonable in gas prices.
Okay, all right.
The more oil you put on the market, even a worldwide market, is just beneficial to everybody.
Okay, all right. So, Ira, those were kind of similar to, opening up more drilling areas. That's something, again, people are saying the drill, baby, drill idea, and then, there's a lot of experts that say not really going to help. So, Ira, what do you think?
Well, my crystal ball broke last week, but I would say is that if you look at the past where they started drilling off the coast of Santa Barbara and they started drilling and creating more supply, what's been happening now is the demand has actually gone down a little bit in the United States, and they're exporting the oil to other countries. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the experts think that this opening up this pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline, is just going to take that oil that's generated from these oil sands, and it's going to be exported to Europe and Latin America for diesel oil production. And so,
but what about us?
I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to export the oil when we open it up. It's not going to help oil prices in this country.
Yeah, the AP actually did a study that they released yesterday, and they said that they analyzed over the last 30 years, and whenever there's more drilling, it doesn't affect, and sometimes it increases our gas prices at the pump, which makes no sense to most of us.
Well, if someone overseas is going to pay more money for it, they're going to sell it to them.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not in the business of putting gas in our tanks, ironically enough. They're in the business of making money.
Right. So let's hear your solutions. 888-630-9625. Ken in Centerville. Ken, what is your 17-second solution?
Break Standard Oil back into two competing companies.
Okay. That was so quick.
Since Standard Oil was allowed to reform, gas prices have gone nuts.
Okay, all right, Ira, what do you think? Can we break Standard Oil up into like we did with Bell?
I'm not so sure that would really do it. I think that there's a lot of talk, let's call it that, between the oil companies now, the big five oil companies, and if you make six, I don't think it's really going to solve the problem.
Okay. All right, Steve in Silver Spring. Steve, what's your 17-second solution?
Okay, I got two solutions. 5 years ago, I was in the Ukraine, rode around in taxis powered by propane. Number two is in Brazil, they fuel their cars 85% ethanol made from sugarcane waste. They've got sugarcane waste to ethanol to export, but Obama will not permit importation of Brazilian ethanol made from sugarcane waste. Instead, we have to put corn in our tanks, which is food and really not fuel.
Yeah, it's funny. Sugarcane, it reminds me of Vicky's solution about like the donut.
There we go.
The donut waste. Okay, and so I like your idea, Steve. We're going to take a couple more before we weigh in from Ira. So Dan in Falston. Dan, what's your 17-second solution?
I was just going to say you could do a federally mandated 4-day, 10-hour a day work week, and that would cut the demand by 20% right off the bat.
Ooh.
Across the board.
Yeah, and then we'd have that 3-day weekend we've all been wanting. Ira, what do you think?
I like that. I think that if the government, one of the things the government can do is can encourage companies to maybe rotate their schedules so we're not all driving to and from work at the same time, and if we drive into and from work less, that's certainly a good thing.
I like that idea. 888-630-9625. Doris, what is your 17-second solution?
I think we should have a national sit-in where we all sit in our house for one day and see if the oil companies pay attention. If it's effective, then we can roll it out so that it's done weekly or monthly so that the power is given back to the people.
All right. Ira, would that work?
Yeah, that's a very similar suggestion to the previous one. I think any conservation of oil or taking a moratorium, I'm with Kevin. I mean, I walk as much as possible, and I do a lot of my shopping by walking. And if you can carpool or walk or take mass transit, just an alternative, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, we could save a tremendous amount of oil.
Okay. Now we're running out of time, so we're just gonna blast through through the remaining of our callers, and then Ira, when we come back from the break, then you can tell us who had the best solution. All right. So let's start with Mary. Mary, 17-second solution. Go. Oh, Mary. All right, Cynthia.
Mary.
Cynthia, Nebraska. What is your 17-second solution?
Nebraska. Mass transit, and if they want to go to Florida, they need to put them in their cars on the train that goes from D.C. down to Florida. And if they want to get the fewer trucks off the road, they need to start buying local and not to the big company stores, because that's where all this stuff's coming from.
Okay, William. William, what is your 17-second solution to lowering gas prices?
Hey, buddy, I'm a CPA who actually been in the oil industry for the last 15 years. 2 solutions. First solution, make speculators take physical inventory of what they speculate and hedge with. Second solution, government should team up with private industry and create a project where they complete a combustion engine that can get 100 miles per gallon. If we can send people to the moon, if we can create atomic bomb, there's no reason why we can't create a combustion engine where you can get 100 miles per gallon.
Agreed. I love it. I love it. All right, John, what is your 17-second solution, John? John's not there. Bo, what is your 17-second solution?
Well, I think building on the pond scum, dryer and belly button lint, and then the next step is Soylent Green.
All right, perfect. All right, we got to take a break. So, Ira, when we come back, Ira Kalb, our expert, is going to say whose solution is the best. Which one will work? Stay with us here on Patriot Lemonade.
Someone just ran out of gas on Highway 41. Did you hear it?
You mean we're out of gas?
Why is it going up so fast? Holy smokes.
Tara McNamara and Kevin Dalton back with you on Patriot Lemonade. We have been working together for your calls and our expert solutions to come up with how we can stop the gas prices from going through the roof. We heard some great solutions today. I cannot resist but take one more. It has to be 17 seconds. Paul, what is your 17-second solution?
Me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, what you got to do is announce that each year they're going to increase the price, the tax, 30 cents a gallon to really get the price up, to really cut down on consumption. And in exchange, each year, 90% of that fund will be sent back to all the people who file a tax return. You don't even have to owe taxes. You don't have to own a car.
Okay.
But everybody gets it.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Okay, so Ira, with all the solutions we've heard, including Paul's, what is the best solution? What will really work to lower gas prices?
Well, it's really hard to come up with a best solution. I kind of like Paul's idea, except for the taxes are just going to increase the price, and everything is transported and will cost money in terms of food and clothing, so that kind of knocks that out. I sort of think it's a tie between the people that said sit home 1 day a week or have a 4-day work week and the natural gas people. Okay. I think that the sit home 1 day a week or go to a 4-day work week is one of the easier things to implement because you don't have to retrofit cars with special tanks for using natural gas.
All right. Ira Kalb, thank you so much for your help. Ira Kalb from the USC Marshall School of Business. And so there you go. Together we've come up with a solution for how to fix one of America's biggest problems, gas prices fixed. How do you feel about the ideas we've come up with together? Tell us by tweeting, adding hashtag Patriot Lemonade. Just take 1 minute to go and be heard. I'm Tara McNamara.
And I'm Kevin Dalton.
And you've been drinking the Patriot Lemonade.